It's time to paint our mice. We're going to use the primary colors and make secondary colors. Let's review. Our primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. We're going to make orange, green, and violet. The color wheel is great for cheating because all we have to do is look at two primary colors and ask ourselves which is between them. That is the color that they make. It works for all the primary colors. All right, according to our story, the red mouse jumped into a yellow puddle. So here's how we're going to do this today. We're going to start with some red paint. And remember, you want to have lots of water and a tiny bit of paint. So I'm going to make some red for my red mouse. And I feel like I have enough paint. I'm going to paint just one mouse red. I think I will make this one red. Here we go. When I paint in my mouse, I'm going to try not to paint in his eye just because I want to keep it white. But that's not a rule. It's just my own personal preference. If you don't care and you want to paint the whole mouse red, then you can do that. That is your choice because you are the artist. So I'm painting in my entire mouse. I want to make sure my paint is very nice and wet because something is going to happen here in just a moment. We are going to mix to make some paints on our mouse. And it is okay if you go out of the lines too. Absolutely okay. Alrighty. Now, how did the mouse turn colors? Well, that silly little mouse jumped in the paint. Can you believe it? Can you imagine jumping in paint in your bare feet? My goodness, what would happen? And the color that this mouse jumped into was yellow. Put some water in your yellow. Let it get nice and soft. And when you can see that it's a little cloudy with paint on your brush, pick up some of that water. Now I have yellow water on my brush. And I am going to go right on top of those feet. 1, 2, and look what happened. Mouse paint. I'm even gonna go over here on my little mouse's tail because we know that mice sometimes drag their tails on the ground. And if that happens in the paint, well, we know it's gonna turn orange. Look at those orange feet. Let's think, what color puddle would make orange feet for a red mouse? Do you remember? Red mouse, orange feet, must be yellow. Let's have fun making another mouse. The next mouse that we are going to make is going to be a yellow mouse. So, first, of course, I need some yellow paint. Remember, just pick up that water. You don't need to scrub your oval. We would lose a lot of paint if we did that. All right, Mrs. Mouse, you are going to be yellow. So, I'm going to paint. I'm going to go around her lips. You know, later, if you wanted to paint in parts of your mouse or you wanted to color in parts of your mouse, then when your mice are dry, go get your crayons. You could color in your mousie's bow. You could color in your mousie's nose and lips. or whatever you made that made your mouse special and unique. I bet there are a lot of special and unique mice out there right now because I know what amazing artists you all are. Okay, this is a very yellow looking mouse. She really did a number on herself when she jumped in that paint. My goodness. Okay, Mousy. From the story, we remember that you jumped into a blue puddle. A blue puddle. So I want to make sure my Mousie's feet are really nice and wet right now. So when I add that blue, they're going to make a new color. Let's see what happens. I pick up a tiny, tiny bit of blue because blue is very strong. And here we go. Look, you can see I have enough water on there because the color is starting to mix and bleed and travel. It's so fun to see what paint can do. All right, as I mix in that blue paint on my yellow mouse, something is happening. What is happening to my mouse? It's definitely turning another color. What color? Well, yellow mouse, blue paint. Did we get green? Sure did. All right, another successful mouse story. All right, you little mice, we need you to go somewhere and dry off so we can paint our last mouse. The last mouse today is going to be our business mouse. All right, business mouse, we know from the story that you were a blue mouse. So let's make some blue paint. You don't need a whole lot of blue paint from your oval because blue is such a strong color. It shows up really well. Here we go. All right, my little blue mouse. I always wonder when we do a story like this, how many of you are thinking about writing your own story? Something like this, but instead, maybe you're not going to use a mouse. Maybe you would use a different animal because it could do something different in the story. Maybe you would use a llama. Or maybe you would use a jellyfish. I know you're all so creative. It's fun to see what you dream up. Okay, we've got a really blue mouse. Oh, he looks so cold. Let's warm him up with a warm color. We know from the story that this blue mouse jumps into a red puddle. Red is a warm color. Let's add a tiny bit of red to our blue mouse and see what we get. Mix that red into that mouse. It's almost like magic. Sometimes it helps to add a little water, and then you won't have such a stripe on your mouse like I did a minute ago. Look at that. Yep, that's definitely not blue, and it's definitely not red. We took a blue mouse and we added some red, and look what we got. We got violet. Well, that was fun. I hope you had fun painting your mice. Let them dry, and if you want, go over with some crayon and add some decorations to your mice. Have fun.